Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira, and welcome back to this discussion of mucus and acid-forming foods. And I think the last video, the quality isn't the greatest, so I want to thank you for staying in there with me. Basically, I'm trying to put this information sort of in different formats and some different types of videos, and some things would be in PowerPoint presentation format, other things just directly check out an eBook, just trying to experiment with some different ways to find what's some of the best ways to discuss this information, or the ways that people like to kind of consume the information. And another thing, even though I kind of often talk about the same things, when every different aspects come out every time I use a different medium, if I go from video to checking out the ebook or whatever, I kind of discuss different things. So anyway, just wanted to make a quick note about that. And let's get started. Fermented foods and sauces, acid-forming stimulants, fish sauce, fermented vegetables, all kinds, kimchi, other veggies, the fermented veggies, olives, pickles, cucumbers, sauerkraut, cabbage, etc. Yes, the fermented vegetables, I think that there's a sector of raw foodists that get into this fermented thing, and it's just acid forming stimulants is the way that I view them. The cleaner you are, the more they're going to irritate your stomach and your intestines, and a lot of the people that will say that it doesn't, or try to defend, it's not like nobody's being attacked, but just they'll try to defend their stance on fermented foods. And but oftentimes these people have never really done a great deal of detoxification, or long periods of being totally mucusless and acidless, mucus-free and acid-free, throwing that acid in there. And I think that's something that I find interesting about the looking at things this way, not only dealing with just the mucus forming, or not only dealing with just the acid forming, but making some distinction between, okay, these foods are acid formings, but these foods are mucus formings, and then these might not necessarily technically be mucus forming, but they're definitely acid forming. And at the end of the day, the acidosis is going to destroy your internal organs and your body in general. So anyway, fermented vegetables, and then it just, from a natural point of view, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Does it make more sense to grab an apple off the tree and eat it, grab a mango, peel the skin off, eat the easily with your hands, and eat the fruit that's inside? Or does that make more sense, or does it make sense to press all the juice out of it, put some yeast in it, let it ferment somewhere and sit for decades, and then drink it? Or with vegetables, does it make sense to just go out into the field or a garden and pick some leaves, some lettuce or something right off the ground, and eat it straight? Or to ferment it, can it and put some kind of fermenting agent in it, and then let it sit there for a long period of time, and then eat it? That it doesn't make much sense. Again, historically, one argument could be made that one of the reasons humans started to do that was because of the type of climates they moved to. I always look at things through the mucusless perspective. So when I see not only the moving out of tropical climates, mucus really had to help make that possible. The human body had to start to accumulate the amount of waste and to be able to tolerate colder climates. But for us, the humans in cold climates are just sort of this unquestioned natural thing. But there's a reason why we often view so-called paradise. If you type in paradise, I imagine you'll see pictures of tropical islands and that kind of thing. You don't see Antarctica when you're typing in the word paradise. And there's a reason for that. For humans, because we are a tropical species. The tropics are not paradise to a polar bear or a penguin or other animals that don't deal with the tropics. So yeah, didn't mean to get off into that, but just putting all this stuff into perspective because it's all so connected. Miso, sauces and vinegar, hot sauce, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, relish, tartar sauce, barbecue sauce, salad dressing, salsa, etc. I heard a couple of you guys cry. It's okay. Here, take the tissue. I'm just playing. Yeah, I mean, the sauces, the thing that you see fairly quickly is that the meat is really not necessarily the thing that you were addicted to, or at least you're not as addicted to the meat itself as you thought you were. Because if you take all of the condiments away, take the sauce off, take the barbecue, the hot sauce, take the seasonings, take it all away from the meat, then eat it raw. Or if I want to be generous, then cook it on an open fire and then eat it with no condiments, no seasoning. Some people probably eat it like that, but the vast majority of people I know, they love their sauces. That's a big part of eating the pus forming kind of foods, is these ancillaries that you have to put on it. Why? To make it palatable. And the thing about these sauces is really the vinegar. I mean, the vinegar is, in my opinion, sort of the key detrimental aspect to these. And then you get into the ones that have the high fructose corn syrup, and they just have all of these more concentrated, processed kind of acid forming stimulants that are in them. So it's basically a combination of various acid forming stimulants. So of course you can make your own versions of these things with vinegar free. Oftentimes you can sort of blend things together and get into, I'll talk more maybe about some of my favorite like salad dressing recipes or sauce recipes and that kind of stuff at another time. But for the ones that are supposed to have vinegar, lemon juice is always what's recommended. That's what Era recommended. Lemon juice is great for that kind of thing. So then we get to soy sauce, and same thing, just it's acidic and very salty, but it is not where we want to be. So yeah, that's fermented foods and sauces, acid forming stimulants.